Yo, what is up, boys? How's it going? Welcome back to another stream slash video. Actually, just a video today, not a stream, because we're going live right after this. Let's go. Oh, best anime 2023 by Gigguk. Let's see what he has to say.
Well, it's that time again. Another year has passed us by, and with it has gone another year of anime. We got good shows, we got bad shows, but the real question is, what are the moments that are going to be remembered?
Shout out to Frieren, Vinland Saga. What was this one? The zombie one, Zom 100. Yo, what ended up happening with that? Oh my god, this editing is crazy. Oh my god, that's right. What was it called? I don't want to spoil the concept, but you know, the anime, reincarnated, you know, children, idols. Fuck, I can't remember the name of it. Dude, I just woke up, guys. I rolled out of bed. I'm like, fuck, I have a subathon. I'm going to be streaming for like... By the way, announcement. Anime Watch Party Subathon. The concept of the subathon is, one, we're not fucking leaving. But the concept of the subathon is every time someone subscribes on Twitch, it adds like 15 minutes to the timer, but also you get to recommend what anime I react to. We're going to be reacting to anime for days and days and days. It's going to be fun. Link down below, comments, check it out. But yeah, the idol anime, I can't remember what it's called.
Was a year dominated by...
There was a banger.
Absolute heavyweight shows just completely taking over. Anime seemed inescapable whether you were a fan or not. Successful live-action adaptations.
Oshi no Ko.
Legendary series coming to an end. Memes. So many memes. It feels like the influence of a handful of shows have truly seeped into mainstream pop culture and only continues to grow from there. But there were still some other things happening around our little sphere. Anime fans continue to find any opportunity to complain about CG. This time...
Yo, do I have this fucking sped up right now? How about a 1.25? Maybe we keep it.
Even Demon Slayer was catching straight.
Have you ever done that thing where you watch it at a quicker pace and then you try to make it normal and then it sounds like slow motion? I feel like I can't go back now. It's too late. We're too far in.
Complaining about how these fishes look like an absolute joke. How dare any animation studio consider this acceptable quality, they cried. Meanwhile, in Isekai land...
No way, that's not real. There's no way that's real. This is not an anime.
This is what peak CGI looks like. I actually drew 2 lines and got 44 million views, 400k likes, and 100,000 retweets.
God.
Meanwhile, I'm out here drawing at least 8 lines, and I'm still waiting for Shonen Jump to hit me
Is Hunter x Hunter coming back or what?
up with that manga deal. One Piece defied all odds by giving us a live-action adaptation that didn't suck, while the
It was decent, dude. I really enjoyed the first like 3 or 4 episodes of the live action. It was just so nostalgic and so hype. Just seeing our boys come to life. Did I think Barate and Arlang Park could have been better? Yes, I could have. But I'm excited for the next season.
Fanbase came together to collectively say, nah, I'd win. Which is what
I'd win.
They enter a contest of who can more effectively
I've been doing that before I go into a fight in Apex. Nah, we'd win.
spoil their fucking series. But they would
win
against this random dude from Mashle.
I am Rhodes Emus!
Yo, this season of Mashle has been even funnier than the last. I was gonna be honest, like in season 1 of Mashle, I was like, I think the anime hits a little bit harder with the like slapstick style of comedy, with like you turn the page and it just hits you with that face or that joke. And I feel like it wasn't really adapted the best for season 1. Season 2 is fucking killing it.
Look at him, he lasted like 2 seconds. Who the hell would play a character like that? It's probably some dumbass hack. For real though, it's been 10 years now since I've been doing these yearly anime
Wait, he voiced the character in Mashle? No shot.
recaps. I have gone through a bloody decade of anime, and a lot has changed during that time. I can only imagine the wild things that were happening in 2013 back then. Hayao Miyazaki finishes his latest feature film, The Wind Rises, just before announcing his retirement from filmmaking at the ripe young age of about 197 years old. So that was a fucking lie. Those didn't make my list this year. Not because they weren't good, but because I didn't have...
Yeah, I need to watch the new season of Bleach. So I watched the first part, the first like season, I guess, or part 1 or first core, whatever the kids call it nowadays. Fucking every anime has season 4, part 7. And anyway, I watched the first thing. The scene with Yamamoto is so sick. Honestly, 1,000 Year Blood War is popping the fuck off. Like peak perfect Bleach. Haven't watched the second half yet, and we need to do it. Maybe we'll do it on the subathon. Link down below.
Say about
that was an unintentional segue into promoting my stream. But yeah, my stream will be live. Literally, when this goes live, I will be live.
them other than it was good. Hell's
When
Parody.
this video goes live, I'll be live. I need to wake up. G Fuel, Cold Briggs. I need like a fucking intravenous, just right into my veins.
Dice was fun. So was Mashle. So was Undead Unluck. One day, I'm sure the West will appreciate Uma Musume as much as Asia does. Today is not that day. Mushoku Tensei continued my favorite isekai story of all time by having its main character go,
I cannot get it up.
people have enjoyed it left, right, and center.
I'll be honest, this season didn't hit as hard, but it was still fucking good.
But I think he's proved he's a real gentleman by showing that he never, ever raises his sword at a girl. Alright, let's get to my favorite shows of the year. But before we do, a quick word from my sponsor, Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post is a monthly...
Hell yeah, support the boy, truly. But I do have a stream I gotta do like very shortly, so we're skipping this shit.
I'll just make it myself. Of my couch. The zombie genre is probably one of the most saturated and overdone genres you can find in any entertainment medium. About 10 years ago. Yet somehow in 2023, we still got an entirely fresh and original take on it in Zom 100. Zom 100...
Low-key, the colors and like that first scene when like he kind of snaps back to reality after from being super depressed was beautiful and just so artistic.
tells the sad story of Mapper employees. Overworked and undervalued by the company overlords that run their lives, it takes an entire zombie apocalypse for Akira Tender to start living the life he should have. This show felt like a personal call-out for anyone who's ever worked a dead-end job in their lives and has daydreamed of something, anything happening to take away their responsibility out of their hands, even if that thing is the end of the world. Akira personifies that feeling of pure freedom we all secretly wish we had. That feeling that breaks the shackle of responsibility of having to go to work, of having to wake up for school the next day. Eren Yeager looks at him and goes, "Fuck that guy," which is embodied in one of the most impressive opening episodes all year, where you could feel that every single person working on it channeled their passionate hatred of all the previous employers that had ever wronged them. Unfortunately, it felt like a lot of the hype got taken away, largely due to episode releases being plagued with constant...
Yeah, dude, I was really enjoying it, and then it just stopped coming out, and I forgot about it.
...delays because of time slots and supposed production issues. Oh hey, would you look at that? Even though the show lost some steam as it went on and was tonally a bit all over the place at times, it was still a fun little show I think anyone could enjoy, because...
Dude, there were some fucking hilarious-ass moments. Homie got naked to jump across from building to building. Literally the saddest fucking scene between our main character and this girl crying. She's turning into a zombie. He fucking throws her down the stairs. He's running away. And then you got Chad over there like, "I got the fucking TV. Let's go." And then our main guy's like, "All right, that's a W. That's a W. Let's go get drunk and get some beers."
In this day and age where it feels like people are fighting tooth and nail just to survive, I think a lot of us could use a story about one man reminding us all how to live.
Yeah. Enjoy the little things, boys.
The most respected genre in anime.
What the fuck was that audio? Oh, he had to mute it because of fucking copyright. 100 Girlfriends made me cringe.
We saw the 100 girlfriends who love you come along and personally made sure that it never will be. This is the story of a man who got rejected so many times, who had such negative riz. God took pity and gave him 100 different girls he had to date or they'd all die. This was like watching someone dying of thirst in the desert, and then God goes, "All right, I've got a solution." I'm listening. "Just fucking drown him." But what God didn't plan for is that he chose someone who could
Bro,
chug the ocean.
100 Girlfriends. How? I feel like that's more of a punishment. I genuinely feel like that's more of a punishment / curse than like a good thing or something to be happy about.
Dry and still have room for more. 100 Girlfriends.
I can barely handle one.
So dumb. It will need to be as batshit crazy as its own premise to even have a chance at making it work. And that's exactly why it does. It's stupid. It's unhinged. It knows exactly how insane it is and then runs with it 10 kilometers past where it needed to go. By all means, this show shouldn't have worked if we didn't have the greatest harem protagonist.
I don't know. I get like secondhand embarrassment and secondhand cringe pretty easily. Like I can't even watch like people flirt on TV. It hurts me on the inside, which is weird. I've become so desensitized to the weirdness of anime. Like weird ecchi shit like used to trip me out, and now I just like I don't even notice, and I'll recommend a show to my friend and then they'll be like, "What the fuck is this?" Or I'll have this awkward moment where I'm watching No Game No Life with my girl and you got like panty shots from like a fucking 9-year-old girl. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with anime? But when I watch it by myself, like, I don't even notice these things. I'm so desensitized to the weirdness of it. However, I still can't handle secondhand embarrassment like of a guy talking to a woman or whatever, two people like flirting or whatever. Like the awkwardness just kills me. Can't do it. Like literally Cobra Kai. I couldn't watch Cobra Kai because like a couple scenes I'm like, bro, I can't watch this. I gotta look away.
Bring it all together. Yes, we were Grace with the apex of boyfriends. The partner she tells you not to worry about. He may look like the most unthreatening guy possible, but watch him be like, "Don't worry, I come in peace. Hi, what's your name?"
Low-key, there were a few wholesome moments. I mean, I only watched like 2 episodes for a podcast. And it was every wholesome moments where he's like trying to really make them happy and make things work and like whatever. Recon calling him a Chad though, like he's not a Chad. What are you talking about? Homie tried and failed. And it wasn't like, "Oh my god, throughout all these failures, I have now gone and become a better person and could like make these women happy." It's like, no, God, I made a mistake. Now you get 100 fucking girlfriends. Like just the handing to him, you know? I don't know. What am I even talking about?
It's laugh at a comedy anime, and even rarer when it comes to lowbrow harem rom-coms, but 100 Girlfriends was a showcase of how to do a parody correctly. Reinforced by Bibri Animation Studio.
See, while it was a parody, sometimes it didn't feel like a parody. It just felt like those shows that it's parodying. And I understand that's, I guess, the point, but I didn't find it funny. At least not for the first 2 episodes. It was more cringe. Oh, wholesome. Cringe. Awkward, cringe. Lame, boring. Wholesome. I don't really know if I laughed.
Doing a bang-up job sending all of these jokes in the anime adaptation. They went above and beyond.
Live Rico reaction to 100 Girlfriends.
Can't wait to see how they adapt the manga beyond the. Whoa, whoa, wait, what? Why are you all running away?
What the fuck? I never gave Stampede.
3D animation comes in 2 tiers.
Trigun Stampede. Is that what was it? Well, I can't words. Oh my god. I never really gave it much of a chance. I should. I think episode 1 of the original was funnier and hit harder, but I didn't give it. I should have given it more of a chance because it wasn't bad.
There's the Berserk 2016 tier, a show so disastrous it has scarred the anime community from 3D anime to this day. And then there's this, the aesthetic that looks like one of those games I apparently won't last 5 seconds playing. The real ones, has been out here creating their own tier. Every project they seem to continually push themselves, one-up themselves, and Trigun Stampede is their best looking show yet. Not just with some of the jaw-dropping action sequences and camera work, but small micro-expressions and camera animation that give their work just a bit more life. They are still continuing to push the boundary of what is possible in a 3D anime in every way possible. When I got the lucky opportunity to talk to a producer at Studio Orange, he called themselves the hentai of the anime industry, and well, that's pretty accurate because what they've done with Trigun Stampede has got me bricked up. How's the show? Trigun is one of the most beloved anime from the old school.
I love Trigun.
Era, and when you take on the mantle of rebooting a franchise like this, you always have to contend with picky fans comparing each and every little change in detail. Vash's bounty is way smaller. He has a different haircut, different gun, character designs that looks like this now look like this. Huh? Now where have I seen this aesthetic before? Oh. The spaghetti western feel takes a backseat to fully flesh out a hard sci-fi story. It's more dark, more gritty. One of my favorite things from the original being Vash and Wolfwood's epic buddy cop dynamic feels a tad more intense.
I'll skin you alive and play with your bones until you're begging to die. You got that straight.
Make no mistake, it's entirely new Trigun, but one thing I can always respect is when a reboot tries to do something different that the original didn't already do, and by the end of the season, it becomes abundantly clear what all these changes were leading up to, and goddamn did it leave me wanting more. In a time where I feel like we're getting starved of good, hard science fiction anime, this has to be one of the most unique and interesting sci-fi worlds we've seen in years.
Alright, we'll give it another chance, boys.
It has the chance to do even more than the original did if it gets future seasons. When people remember Trigun, they say, oh yeah, Trigun, I freaking loved Trigun. But if you ask them before that what they recommended we go back and watch, Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist, Trigun has always been on that second
I like Trigun more than Cowboy Bebop. Hot take?
or third echelon of recommendations behind.
I mean, the ending wasn't the best for the anime. I mean, it's been a long time. Why am I even talking about this? It's literally been so long. I feel like I have an opinion based off of like what I remember my opinion was.
Classics, and I fully believe that with what Studio Orange have set up with this season, it has the potential to go up to this tier.
How can I say that? I feel like I like to a certain high points of Cowboy Bebop that surpassed Trigun, but the overall Trigun experience kind of, I guess maybe I just found it funnier and more badass at times. I think it was more consistent. Like I really enjoyed the entire journey for Trigun. I feel like I didn't get that point across very well.
There were few anime last year that exploded onto the scene as fast as Oshinoko did. Our hearts were torn to shred in a tragic 90-minute opening episode. A new meta was formed as anime companies saw the feature-length opening premiere and said, wait, you can do that?
It's free real estate.
The opening song became the very first Japanese song to top the global Billboard 100 charts. The people of my anime list came together and went, fuck you, Fullmetal Alchemist, this is the greatest anime ever made. Then, everyone remembered there was an entire rest of the show you needed to watch. Describing the plot of Oshinoko is like, alright, so there's a doctor who's a huge fan of this one idol, and it turns out the idol he likes shows up in the hospital, but then it turns out he gets reborn as that person's baby and comes back and murders their mom as well, and it's maybe the same person they special, but then because he's really traumatic. So, it's an idol anime? No. Sometimes Oshinoko is a victim of its own insane premise. Like, I don't even know if I fully understand this main character. A grown-ass idol-obsessed man who gets reincarnated as the son of the girl he idolized and grows up being obsessed with his now mum and any
The stupidest concept, but somehow a banger fucking anime.
other girl who even remotely reminds him of her. Like, if I call him a motherfucker, is he more likely to say fuck you or yes please? Here's a feed of Sigmund Freud's grave right now. But behind all that, the show shines as this interesting, no bullshit, Instagram filters off look at the Japanese entertainment industry, showing you what really happens behind those closed doors when the cameras are turned off.
I hate the media!
This was the show that tricked everyone into thinking they were watching another idol anime, when in reality it was almost the complete opposite. And the real ones know the true thing single-handedly elevating the reputation of idol fans in 2023 is the sheer existence of Aoi Todo. With how popular this was, I find it interesting how much I heard this title being thrown around last year when most people saying it probably didn't even know what an Oshinoko is. See, in Japanese, Oshi means a person who I support, and in idol culture is normally used to refer to someone's favorite idol. So the term Oshinoko has a clever double meaning that could be my favorite idol or my idol's children, which both perfectly describe the show. Basically, what I'm trying to say is Oshis are worshipped in idol fandom in the same way that Taylor Swift has become the Jesus for white women.
Atomic. Let's go!
Saying you're a fan of isekai feels a bit like saying you're a fan of British food. People think you're consuming them.
I think Eminence and Shadow has officially made my top 5 isekai list. maybe top 3. Overly Cautious Hero, Konosuba, Eminence and Shadow, No Game No Life, Overlord.
The most bland, tasteless piece of garbage the world has ever seen. But sometimes I have a friend come visit and they have a taste of a proper full English breakfast, a perfectly cooked Sunday roast. They try some of our Cornish pasties, our crisps, and it's like, damn, this is pretty good actually. That is my Eminence and Shadow. This takes every single trashy cliche tropes you scoff at in isekai and wears it like a badge of honor. Edgy main character, an army of girls in his harem, blatant power fantasy, nonsensical plot lines, cheesy dialogue, boobs. You know it shouldn't work, but it wears it all so proudly you start getting convinced that it's actually cool. It's not that it isn't stupid, it is stupid.
Yeah, it's actually so true. It's like, haha, this is so funny. I love how he like really like takes in like when he's playing the protagonist, he's a badass person. When he's playing character B, he fucking like commits to the roles. It's so funny. It's so funny. And then slowly you're like, because at first you're like, oh, this is kind of like just like it's a comedy. This is hilarious. I love how they're so committed to this gag. But then they're so committed for so long. Eventually you're like, wow, he is badass. He is cool.
But it doesn't give a fuck if you care or not. And I thought this would eventually run its course until I kept watching and realized that this has a more interesting plot and better world building than 90% of isekai out there.
True.
Which actually says less than you think. For as self-aware as it spares no expense in building up this fully fleshed out world with so many moving parts. Every new arc, you see the dominoes being perfectly laid out. It's all set up for Sid to come in and topple them on the biggest stage possible. And even though you know it's happening, when the moment comes, it delivers. Every single time.
Boys, I really need to start this subathon. Man, I'm so behind schedule. I'm gonna put this to 1.75 for speedrunning, boys.
The most fun I had with any show all year, and just when I think the plot has nowhere else to go. Season 2 ends with a world-shaking development that made me go, fuck! One more isekai doing this! I guess what I'm trying to say is, I already miss Greg's.
Number 8. Attack on Titan.
One man's freedom is another man's genocide. Eren Yeager.
Oh.
Attack on Titan ended this year, and the internet had opinions. If you only browse Twitter, you might have thought half the people either think this was a masterpiece ending, no flaws, 10 out of 10, we all won, we all lost. Eren is a bird. Or, this ending ruined the series, ruined the characters, made the entire show pointless, spat on the legacy of everything he had done, no one's gonna remember Attack on Titan now. Eren is a bird.
Today, we're going to talk about how to stop smoking crack.
Now with real
Eren's a bird.
It seems to be that this was a satisfying conclusion that did everything it needed to do. I have my slight
Dude, that bird fucking wrapping the scarf is so... I hated it.
execution of this ending, but absolutely none of it took away from my love for this series as a whole. What Attack on Titan has achieved.
You know what's weird? I feel like it was a really good ending, but a certain part of me felt like not satisfied with it, if that makes sense. Like, can I think of a better way for them to end it? Not really. Because it felt like everything was preordained and there was nothing they could do, and it was revealed that like he had thought of other outcomes, but this is the only one that was good. It kind of didn't hit as hard for me. It also doesn't help that it had been so long since I watched Attack on Titan that I'm like trying to remember characters' names and the plot line, and we're starting like midway through a fucking like fucking genocide.
The impact it's had on the global reach of anime is something that will go down in history as one of the defining shows of this era. This might not be my favorite ending of all time, but it is certainly the ending to one of my favorite anime of all time. So for one last time,
That's a great way to word that.
Attack on Titan. Only those around now will know that feeling of after years of waiting through final seasons of final parts of final episodes, 2023 was that time we could definitively say that this was the final bit of Attack on Titan we'll ever get to sell. God damn it. Sometimes you just need a dose of wholesomeness to brighten up your day, but being a dude watching anime can sometimes feel like...
So what anime have you been watching?
I've watched like every anime so far on this list, but this
I'm
one.
watching this anime called Skip and Loafer, and it's just one of the most cute and adorable... You catch like this episode of Jujutsu Kaisen at all?
There was nothing in 2023 that made me come out of every episode feeling as good as Skip and Loafer did. This shit was a weekly injection
Did Bochi no Rock come out in 2023?
of sunshine into my veins. I mean, just look at this opening alone. The colors, the vibes, the catchy song.
That'd probably be my... I feel like Vinland Saga Season 2, Bochi the Rock, Eminence and Shadow, top 3? For me? I said Oshi no Ko, right? Mushoku Tensei?
This goddamn dance. It's enough to make any grown-ass man internally scream, ah, this is so cute. Fuck yeah, violence. Am I right, lads? Skip and Loafer is about as straightforward as you can get. A country bumpkin moves to the big city and adjusts to her new high school life. It doesn't need any complex plot because it exudes this air of authenticity that makes you feel so goddamn good. It's rare to find an anime as genuine as this one, because when I say high school life, I don't mean your typical cutesy anime high schoolers that are like, these are teenagers. Real teenagers, just enjoying their lives to the fullest. No melodrama, no overly anime bullshit. This is youth and adolescence at its most pure without feeling like it's been put through some moe anime filter, and there's just something so endearing about that. Okay, come on, why would I be interested in teenagers? Look, as a certified man, wait, that line sounded really wrong. Look, as a certified man baby pretending to be a grown-up, let me tell you, adulting sucks. We have jobs, we have responsibilities, we have goddamn taxes. Sometimes you yearn for a time when life was simpler and more straightforward, and maybe that time is romanticized. Maybe you're looking back at that time through rose-tinted glasses. But whether you are or you aren't, you'll never know, because we'll never be able to get that time back again. Ever. And it's those little moments, those simple times you cherish and reminisce about, that this show encapsulates perfectly. Like, there's this one scene where our main girl comes home for the first time during her summer break. She stayed up way too late catching up with her friends and slept in, but it's alright. Her mum's taken the day off and she has the whole summer ahead of her. So on this boiling hot day, her mum slices her up a watermelon, and the episode slows down to a crawl as we see her just taking a moment to enjoy this watermelon while the sounds of summer ring on in the background, and she just stops and just appreciates it.
Goes for that long.
And just like that, the summer was over.
Oh no.
When anime wants you to know one of its characters is crazy, it goes. When anime is trying to hint at something important, it's like. Subtlety in anime is using a chainsaw to dice an onion. But what happens when it comes along and treats you like you have the IQ that Rick and Morty fans say they do? You get Heavenly Delusion. Here is a show that doesn't take you by the hand.
Dude, I need to watch Heavenly Delusion. Maybe when the subathon. I don't even want to get spoiled about it. I don't even want to hear anything about it. I'm sorry. I know he doesn't really do spoilers, but like I really want to watch Heavenly Delusion, so I'd rather just skip. If that's okay.
Is teaching the full picture in anime that most. And I don't want to watch these Chinese cartoons, but in 2023, anime went, alright, but what if we had Chinese cartoons? Japan. Apothecary Diaries is an anime that takes place in ancient China, not China, in a palace setting that immediately reminded me of these badly dubbed Chinese soap operas I sometimes walk into my mum watching as a kid. At the beginning, I didn't fully realize what the big hook of this show
Someone was telling me to watch this.
was it the House MD style medical detective stories? Was it the historical drama surrounding the palace politics? Yes. But on top of that, it has, simply put, the best female character we could find all year. And sometimes, that's all it takes. For far too long, anime seems to think we want only one thing, and it's this. No. How about nothing more than just a well-written, believable, compelling female protagonist? And this. Mao Mao's a character that deserves to be in the running for one of the best protagonists we saw in 2023, and was such a breath of fresh air to see. Her presence was overpowering without conforming to what a lot of shows seem to think a good female character is.
My monitors are tripping the fuck out right now. I'm trying to fix them without stopping the video.
A girl. A well-written, believable one that doesn't forget that she's a person first before being just another girl. She doesn't have to be unfeminine to find the overly flirtatious attitude of some pre-boy unappealing. She cannot be your typical waifu bait and still absolutely slay when she needs to. She's not strong because she can beat up 100 guys, but because she's headstrong in her own values and beliefs. Here's a clever realist who acknowledges her place in the palace hierarchy, but isn't afraid to throw hands when shit needs to get done. God damn, my god just factory reset that bitch.
I'm calling Vinland Saga and Boat to the Rock as 1 and 2.
Passionately solve these medical mysteries while asserting her fucking dominance all over the palace politics made this such a compelling watch. And hopefully more shows will be able to take note of
very
great
cool.
characters like this.
I mean, you could dislike this video. I apologize, but we gotta keep on moving. Love you guys. Oh, never mind, we're good. I was about to fucking start skipping forward a bit. Pluto?
Appreciating the statue of up close. Getting to see Lionel Messi dribble past 5 players. Watching Jack Nicholson command every scene he's in. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is. It's always enthralling to see an absolute master of their craft at work. And that's the exact feeling I get whenever I get to see anything written by Naoki Urasawa. And Pluto was absolutely no exception.
I once created a robot that was perfect. The greatest robot the world has ever seen.
Huh?
There are only a few mangaka that can boast such a legendary status as Urasawa himself. When you have a track record of titles like Monster, an absolute masterpiece with arguably the greatest villain anime has seen. 20th Century Boys, not just my favorite manga of all time, but one of my favorite pieces of fiction to exist. Pluto is meant to be one of his weaker works, according to Die Hard fans. And goddamn, if this is him operating at his lowest potential, this is like sending in your weakest fighter, and that fighter turns out to be Gojo fucking Satoru.
Nah, I'd win.
Checks out. This has all the calling cards of a classic Urasawa tale. He sets the stage, a sci-fi world where humans and robots coexist, a series of unsolved murders, a detective that is missing part of his memories, a robot that has done the impossible and taken a human life. He hooks you into his world and leaves you with a single question when the first episode ends. Just how deep does this rabbit hole go? The man's ability to construct a mystery and captivate an audience.
Homie draws people with big fucking noses. Even if you think about Monster.
His mastery of suspense, to me, has the same level of craftsmanship as seeing a master blacksmith make a legendary sword. Every
I like
episode
it.
dense with emotion. A plot that will keep you guessing through all the twists and turns, sitting on top of the sheer thematic depth of the story that every single character carries on their back. And by the end of it all, he'll leave you with these ideas that you'll be thinking about
as someone with a
after
big
the
nose.
credits roll. This is some of the finest storytelling you can find anywhere. If I had to make a guess why this didn't make as big of an impact as it probably should have, well, this was an adaptation of a sci-fi manga that was written in 20.
Look at those snozzes.
Finest storytelling you can find anywhere. If I had to make a guess why this didn't make as big of an impact as it probably
Look at these noses,
should have,
dude.
well,
Look at these noses!
this was an adaptation of a sci-fi manga that was written 20 years ago that was originally a reimagining of Astro Boy, a manga that came out 60 years ago. So, inevitably, there might be some aspects that feel a bit dated. What's this? A war involving the invasion of some Middle Eastern country predicated on the possible development of robots of mass destruction? Oh, hey, there's a guy called Adolf. He's a bad guy.
Couldn't agree with you more, my dear Adolf.
But along with the slightly warm ending, this doesn't make way for the legacy of one of the greatest mangakas alive right now. So, I have one question left. Are we ready to attempt a 20th Century Boys anime?
Number 3. JJK?
When you watch an action anime, you normally go through a season where you might see a ton of great action, but you know it all builds up to this one, or at most 2 episodes where the production values skyrocket, and you're treated to this insanely animated fight that will drop your jaw to the floor. These are the scenes that everyone remembers and defines the top fights of the year. Jujutsu Kaisen went, how about we do that?
Yo, JJK, I watched like the backstory with Gojo. Fire. I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite characters or villains got introduced in that little backstory. However, have not watched the rest of it, and I really want to. So we're gonna skip to number 2. Boom.
The way elves see this world is a mystery.
Hey, Frieren.
It's solely because of you that this retired hero could have one final adventure.
Truly a beautiful journey.
Frieren opens up
Very interesting seeing it from her perspective.
the story of an elf girl who takes for granted the time she has with the people around her. Decades pass in the blink of an eye, her companions age, and before she has the chance to fully get to know them, they're gone. It's a regretful, poignant tale that shoots straight to your goddamn soul. And then the opening's like... The show took a different approach to fantasy adventure while encapsulating everything that the genre is about. There might not be any demon lord to defeat or world to save, but instead we have a journey about appreciating the smaller things in your life, the beautiful things you might have missed if you forgot to look for them. I showed this to a mate and he was like, Frieren? You mean SideQuest, the anime? And I bloody ate him. Because of how fucking accurate that is. Yet it's through those detours you take along the road to your destination that Frieren absolutely shines.
Oh
It's the
shit.
type of show that grips you without ever needing to hit you with any flashy.
So is it Vinland Saga Season 2? What's number
Keep
1?
your attention, and then hit you with these flashy, high-intensity action scenes. This series didn't need to go hard in its animation in any way, shape, or form, but chooses to do so anyway. This is what it's like to watch a fully polished product. But like Frieren's own journey, these are not the moments that stick with you. For the world-saving adventure she went on, the slice of memories we get are those small moments that really defines the time she spent with her party. And as she forms new bonds, you start to see those small pieces she begins to pick up from the people around her that slowly become a part of her. This is what every fantasy tale aspires to be. It's shows like these that somehow make you nostalgic for an experience you've never had, friends you've never made. But at its heart, it's a gentle reminder to cherish the things in your life that really matter, to make the most of the time with the people you truly value.
Yeah.
I've killed so many. I will be reborn. And I will do the world.
I don't think... I genuinely think Thorfinn is one of the best written characters in all of fiction. All of anime.
That's all we've ever wanted.
I lied, all of fiction.
Something in this world that can give us a reason to keep going. When I was a kid, my father would read me bedtime stories that my childish mind would always be absolutely immersed in. Accounts of hungry caterpillars, rainbow fishes, ugly ducklings. These were the greatest stories I'd ever heard, because they were. But it would always end off with a message, a seed that got planted in my head that would hopefully sprout into a lesson that would stick with me. And as you grow older, start learning new lessons by experiencing real life, you forget the effect that stories can have on you. A good story can not only entertain you, it can move you, give you a new perspective, teach you something you never knew you could learn that you can take far beyond the confounds of watching some piece of entertainment. That is the power of a great tale, and that is everything that Vinland Saga Season 2 encapsulates. I cannot begin to describe the sheer effects this show had on me. Season 1 was a compelling adventure filled with tragedy, vengeance, and violence. So to anyone coming into this season blind, you probably would have been taken aback. The violence takes a backseat to a pure, methodical character drama. Vengeance has been replaced by a saga of redemption and acceptance. Honor, glory, sacrifice, all left by the wayside, and all that remains is people just trying their best to find their place in this merciless world. While most series would cower at the thought of shifting gears this drastically, it is that strong juxtaposition that gives Vinland Saga's message the weight it has, exemplified by possibly the greatest character development we've ever seen in this medium. Thorfinn's transformation is something that transcends entertainment. A man who starts off as a shell of a human, broken, empty, unworthy of redemption, but through every person he meets, every relationship he forms, he starts to learn to pick up the broken pieces of his former self that slowly but surely fill his soul up. As you see him encounter conflict, you'll secretly wish for that instant gratification that he'll revert back to his previous savage self. But as you witness this journey of a man fighting so desperately to find peace, who learns that it's okay not just to forgive others, but to forgive himself as well, it becomes an experience that will linger with you and invites you to find your own solace. Watching Vinland Saga feels like I'm getting read the greatest bedtime story ever told by my dad. It'll grip you with the purest of tales packed with nothing but raw human emotion that will leave your heart filled to the brim. And by the end of it all, it gives you something, a message, a lesson it earnestly hopes you can take with you. It reminds you that change isn't just something that exists in the boundaries of a fictional story. It doesn't come easy. It's a long, hard, unforgiving road, but you can get there, even if every day you only take one small step at a time. We will always find a reason to fight each other, no matter what time period we are in, weapons we can use, or tools we have at our disposal. But no matter how broken you think the world is, there is still meaning in trying to build a better tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I can make a brighter day come. Maybe tomorrow I can be just that little bit kinder. Maybe tomorrow I can become a slightly better version of myself. You are capable of letting go of that hatred, even if that hatred is towards yourself. You have no enemies.
What a banger video, Gigguk. Oh, it just ends. No Patreon outro. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Remember, I am doing a subathon anime watch party right now where every one of your subs adds time to the clock, but also you get to choose what anime I watch next. And it's like we're going to have a whole list and queue and stuff. It's going to be really fun. I would really appreciate it if you came by and supported the boy. Love you guys. Also, all the reactions I do will be on Patreon from this watch party as well. So take it easy, boys. See you there.